hope everyone is doing well. And when I say everyone, I mean myself and anyone who hears this video, if I choose to upload it. But I just wanted to come and give a little update regarding my new position that I started on December the 13th as an outreach executive at Oak Street Health. And I did a few videos already just throughout this short period of time to just, kind of document my feelings, my thoughts, and, my views and perceptions. So yes, I had my 60-day review with my manager yesterday. And just looking back at when I first started, even with applying for this job, I wouldn't say that it was not intentional, but it wasn't a direct go-to. It wasn't a direct go-for. Ever since I came off of active duty orders, in my mind, I was just like, I got to do something. I got to do this. I got to do that. I needed a job. I wanted that image. I wanted to be seen as having my things together. Not that I didn't want that for myself, but I feel like more so the desire for me to be seen as if I had everything together overpowered the desire for me really wanting it. And that's an issue. That is a huge issue. Now, I'm not saying that to say anything against this job. I actually like the job. I've been scared to say that because, and scared, that's just the word that comes to mind. But I've been apprehensive to say that because I haven't been able to say that in a long time, that I was truly happy with my leadership, that I was truly happy with where I was working and what I was doing. And while back then, when I say back then, before this job, throughout the years, there has been aspects of the job that I loved, but not a full circle, just like satisfaction. And so with this position, it's like I really do like everything. There's always going to be little things here and there, but the good definitely outweighs the bad here. And I don't want to even speak it to make it seem like, something may happen if I say, oh, I like it. I'm not superstitious or anything like that. I'm just saying that I've been apprehensive to say that. But back to what I was saying, so coming into this position, my mindset was I want a job, I want stability. But I did that at the risk of truly finding myself. And I mean that to say that I took time away that I could be using to heal, to grow, to develop personally and learn and understand myself. Because even in my times that I wasn't working, during my transitional periods is what I call it, to make it feel better for me, which it is. Everything can be a transitional phase into your next season. But I wasn't even taking the time then to really sit with myself and understand myself. And it's like I would, put little things in here and there, but I was never truly dedicating to the knowledge and understanding of myself. And I'm still doing that now. Like, I still feel like I, don't give myself that proper time. But I'm sorry, I'm just going left. So when I got this position, I was very nervous. Like, when I went to the interview, I was like thinking, what am I doing? Thinking that I would get it, but then hoping I wouldn't, and thinking I wouldn't at the same time. Like, just so many mixed emotions. And like I said, it's not because I didn't want to work or anything like that. It's just that I get stuck in my head a lot of times. Did I make the right decision? Am I moving right? And somebody told me yesterday, I was having a conversation with somebody. She's very spiritual, very intellectual, and she was saying, God doesn't want you to do everything right. And I'm like, what? What she was saying to me is, we're not perfect. We're human. God knows this. The mistakes we make are for him to show himself bigger in our lives. You don't go around trying to be intentionally messy or just messing up, but you make decisions at the risk of understanding who God is. And that's not a risk. When I say that, the risk of your own feelings, your own thoughts, your own, oh my gosh, y'all do this right. Because God is always going to be the better choice, no matter what choice you make. So whenever she was breaking that down and telling me all that, it just got me to thinking even until now. So coming into this job, my mindset was everywhere. And then when I left the interview, it wasn't like a cocky feeling at all, but I knew I got the position. And I ain't gonna say I don't know. I believe that was the Holy Spirit dropping that into me. Like, I got that position. And so when I got to the job, you know, I was welcomed warmly. And that's another thing that's different, especially from the military. You don't get all that. And I'm not saying people are just mean, but you know, the general consensus, or the general like foundation of the military and people you come across is like, oh, I gotta be hard up, I gotta be straight up. You know, we're taught to carry ourselves in a certain way. And so coming into this light and airy, as I would call it, environment, and you know, just kind of being straight up, and people all want to talk to you and all that. For me personally, aside from the military, I don't like that. Even though I'm a very bubbly person, I talk a lot. I ain't even ashamed of it. I talk a lot. I'm goofy, all that, to the people who know me though. So when I'm in new environments, it's not that I'm being fake or funny. I have to observe my surroundings, as everyone should do, and I don't like to just jump right in, you know, or be naive. I've been hurt before, and I shouldn't operate based off that, but that pain has also taught me ways to conduct myself. And a lot of times people think that the way we react to pain from the past and our future is bad. You know, I'm saying like being hurt in the past, then, you know, how we act moving forward, you know, is always negative. Yeah, sometimes the trust issues, always thinking somebody has an agenda, always being defensive, you know, that can be a reaction to the pain. But being wiser, moving slower in the sense of calculating what you do, being strategic. I'm not saying being a stickler, I'm just talking about using wisdom. That could be a positive thing that you get from the pain you experience. So a lot of times people just want to say, oh, well, you know, I've been hurt before, so I don't trust nobody. Oh, well, I used to do something for people and I got hurt, so I'm not doing nothing for anybody else moving forward. You can't be like that. It can't be all or nothing. And that's how I have been in a lot of situations and relationships in my life, because I'm always that 0 or 10. I'm always that hot or cold, that black or white. Like I'm not going to say had, I have a difficult times operating in the gray, in the blurred lines. For me, it got to be this or that. And that serves me well in a lot of situations, but a lot of situations also it hinders my growth. It takes away opportunities from me that I could build upon. And it's like what they say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You got to take the good and leave the bad. And learning that for me has been very difficult, when I have always thought that that ain't nothing. You know, anybody should be able to do that. For me, it's been a challenge. And so coming into this position, you know, welcome with open arms. The first few weeks, it was very nerve-wracking. Even with me being in training, I could tell the environment was very go, 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 high tempo. Now, someone would think, well, that shouldn't be nothing for you, girl. You know, you in the military. Yes, I did a lot of things. I've did a lot of things in the military. I've handled a lot of things. I've dropped the ball. I've fumbled. I picked it up. I made a touchdown, all that. You know, I don't know about sports, but that's, you know, I'm going to say that. I intercepted the ball. Anyway, but when you're in a new environment, it doesn't matter how easy or familiar it seems. Learning something new is always going to be a learning experience. And learning experiences are not easy. Not easy all the time. Even though some people love challenges and it, you know, motivates them, that's not the case for everyone. But so I just came, you know, and I was very nervous. A lot of times I'm like, what did I get myself into, girl? Like, honey, why? And on top of that, you chose to commute a long distance. Like, what is this, Lord? You said this was, I feel like you said this was the right thing to do. But I'm feeling kind of iffy now, you know? So as I began to get into the position, I had to start talking to myself. Like, I always do that anyway. But concerning this job, I had to start encouraging myself and having self-talks, which I realized I haven't did that much in the past. And even if I did, it wasn't positive. Like, the majority of that talk was very negative or just very surface level. But I had to tell myself, Brianna, you're not defined by a quota that you can meet. You're not defined. And most people may think, oh, well, that's, you know, that's lazy. That's not, you know, doing the best you can, or blah, 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 whatever. For one thing I've realized, that everything doesn't work for everybody. One thing may work for somebody that won't work for another person. And that's why it is so important to find your own rhythm. And for me to find my own rhythm and my way of understanding and my way of helping myself through different situations. So I had to tell myself basically, like, a quota doesn't define you. Being the best person in the office doesn't define you. Being the best dressed, none of that. And this position, without me even knowing it, has catapulted me into a deeper understanding and healing of myself, not just because it did, but because I'm allowing it to. I'm choosing to allow it to. Like, people, it's true, and I believe it wholeheartedly, that a lesson unlearned is a lesson returned. And that's why we talk about the grace and mercy of God and how good he is, because it's an unlimited test. And I don't want to say like, oh, you out here, you just being tested just because. Everything works out for your good. It means that in the Bible, because whenever you are going through anything you're going through, you could always take something good, anything. And I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but it's your mindset. It's the way you receive and process things, and what you allow things to be used for. You can, this gonna sound like a crazy, example or analogy, whatever, but I'm known for that. But you could be in a hot room on a summer day that ain't got no AC, and you could have a window that you could open to let the breeze in. So you got a stick that you could prop that window up with. So you could either use the stick to prop the window up so you can get some airflow, or you could use the stick being mad and just hitting at the wall because you hot. If that makes any sense. What you receive, you choose what to do with it. You can get a whole bunch of bricks and you could just throw them in a pile, or you can use them to build a home. Like, it's what you use with what you get. And that's another thing I've been learning, even before this new position that I received. A lot of times what I'm trying to say, like, a lot of times we try to classify things as good or bad. And we have to understand that good and bad is not the same as right and wrong, but I ain't gonna get into that. But sometimes we just need to classify things as what they are. This is just what it is. Just let it be what it is. And when we take away that, subjection is what I call it. Stop, learn to be objective about things. That's when we can truly open up our mind's eye, like open up our understanding. Like they say, the Bible says your spiritual senses, open them up and be able to receive things in a way that's going to better serve you. And so, even with coming here and things like that, I know that I have been able to cultivate a lot in this short period of time. So God will and can use anything. You just have to see him in it in order for you to grab hold and be like, oh, okay, like, now you're moving to the next level. You're graduating to something new. And so, first month, very nerve-wracking. My manager, just like headstrong, gung-ho. He don't believe in motivation. Motivation is for the weak. Motivation is just words, And so just even coming into contact with him has given me a new mindset, because he challenges me in my way of thinking. And being in that environment also challenges me, because it's hard to say it. I don't want to say it like this because I honor what I do in the military. I always have. But it's like, I'm in that. Like, I'm in there. I've signed a contract. I'm doing the duty. One day I may be up. One day I'm bad. Maybe I'm down. I'm doing good. It's just a whole bunch of moving pieces. But I'm in there. At this position, I really have to, hold my own. And a lot of times, a lot of times we think of the money, or we think of the position, or the actual things we have to do in the job. The foundation for everyone isn't the same. For me, this is, Brianna, you're doing this on your own with no strings attached. And when people say strings attached, oh, that's a good thing. It is. No, when I say strings attached, like, my strings are attached to the military. Like, we ain't going nowhere, not that easy like that. Here, there's no strings attached. I'm free falling. I got to learn to fly. You get what I'm saying? So even that's why I say, don't classify a position. Don't classify. Somebody can be working in the White House and can be seen as, oh, you working in the White House, or you a part of the Secret Service, the FBI, whatever. Oh, that's a good thing. They done learned their way in that position. They done been in there for years. So they see it as a high-ranking thing. But what if that person then goes to be a carpenter or a construction worker? And I'm not downplaying any of those positions. I'm saying it's a totally different thing in a totally different lane. At the end of the day, they're going to have to learn some things that may scare them. I hope I broke that down for somebody to understand. But so my 60-day review is what you call it. The the word is slipping my mind. I'll think of it. But I did that yesterday, and then just even looking back on this short period of time, how it moved so fast, and how much I've grown because I've allowed myself to. And I try to keep a healthy balance. Like, I don't want to stress myself out like, oh, am I doing this right, doing that right, da-da-da. As long as I'm putting in the effort and I'm willing, but I have to be doing that. I have to be putting in the effort. I have to be willing to do the job and do what I'm supposed to do and learn. And also to give myself time. That's another thing about being defined by different things. Give yourself time to learn. Give yourself time to grow. Give yourself time to understand, because by the time you do get to the point of growth and understanding, you're going to have to grow and understand some more. I'm just saying, that's life, you know. But if we don't, you know, get that understanding, then we'll forever be in this phase, this cycle that we don't have to be in. We'll forever be in this thing of trying to make things fit the way we want them to fit, instead of allowing things to just flow and reaping a bigger harvest, a bigger benefit, a better, I'm going to classify that, a better benefit. So, I'm settling into the job. I'm learning more. I definitely feel this is a season strong. That's one thing I'm proud of, because I feel like I'm being cultivated even more. And I'm being more self-aware. And I don't mean just that surface self-awareness. I mean that deep self-awareness. You know, and to wrap all of this up, I just wanted to say that we need to understand where we are, but don't allow ourselves to be bound to where we are. Bondage is not just physical, it's not just tangible. Bondage is bondage no matter what it is. And at the end of the day, when we're able to classify what is keeping us bound, then we understand how to move up out of it. Bondage is not, let me see how I can put this, because I don't want to use the cliche examples. Bondage isn't something that keeps us stuck or standing still just because it does. We give meaning, we give definition to bondage. So if we give meaning and definition to bondage, and I ain't talking about literal jail and stuff like that. Y'all know where I'm going with it. Don't do that. But when we give the meaning to that, and we understand that we give a meaning to bondage, we become free. Because when you understand what's holding you down, or what's seemingly holding you down, and you realize that it ain't nothing really, you free. If you choose to be, if you choose to break free from this illusion of bondage, or this real bondage that really isn't strong enough to keep you bound, you're just allowing it to. So, yep, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm enjoying this position so far. I'm praying that God continue to reveal me to me, that I learn to be objective about things, that I learn to get out of my feelings, that I stop trying to heal over and over and over again from things that I have already declared I'm healed from. A lot of times we think that heal is a feeling. Healing is not a feeling. Okay? Okay? It's not a feeling. It's a choice. Healing is not a feeling. Okay? You can't wait to feel healed. You got to work toward that healing and be free. It's easier said than done, believe you me. I wanted to record another video the other day, but I was in my feelings for whatever reason, and I didn't do it. But that was a choice I made. So healing is not a feeling. Healing is after the feeling, if that makes any sense. Healing is the aftermath of the choice, because you chose healing. You got 3 things sitting in front of you, all free access. You know, they're obvious, they say what they are so you can see what you're choosing. So you got healing, staying in my feelings, or waiting for somebody else to come do it for me. Which one you gonna pick up? Which one you gonna pull from? Which one are you going to choose? Choose wisely today, brethren. I'm done. Y'all have a good day. God bless y'all, and I hope you think truly on what I have said. Bye.